back to work. Let's examine Suzuki's parable of the thief and the father and the son, the thief. Let's examine that even further. Right. Let's look at it. Let's expand the story to examine the relationship between not just the thief and the father and the son, but the thief and the people in which this environment has evolved, right? Why is the thief a thief? Why is the child wanting to be a master thief? Why are the other people having such a problem with the thief? Right? Thieves always have these plans. You have a bunch of thieves, they get together, they teach you how to go through strategies, how to plan and go through strategies, how to make sure the other people aren't stealing their signals and their signs and their plans and their strategies, right? I watched that in baseball. I used to laugh all the time and stuff, when I used to coach baseball with kids. And the ball's going over there, catch it, Remember Josh Rayner, Don't go. Yeah, that was great coaching. I told him not to go. He said the same thing to the physicist kid, Chris. Josh said, he goes, I know, because I'll hit it. He goes, you're not taking into account, you never run. Because you can't, you don't hardly ever make good contact because you're not having fun. This is what Josh told him. You're not having fun. Because you'll make better contact if you have better fun. If you just relax and be confident in what you're doing, take a swing at it, right? Take a hack at it. That's what Josh Rayner told him. Okay, dads, both kids in the military. One is aspiring physicist, the other just loves to play baseball. It's fun. Well, he likes to play baseball, loves it. Josh is hilarious. Old Rayner, right? Now, same thing that it wasn't the hidden bummer factor, it was the human factor is what Josh called it. Josh said there, you're not taking into account the human factor. You run like hell, he panics, he throws it over his head, you're standing on third, right? Chris is like, well, baby's standing on second if I'm fortunate, because he's chubby and a couch potato, right? And it was funny, okay? And so, but he hit the ball, he ran like hell, the kid from third freaks out, he throws a bad throw, Chris is standing on first, right? A couple plays later, Josh and Chris Kelso get up, and Chris and our other Chris get up, and boom, 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 and he's, because he's at Josh is at the top of the batting order and Chris is at the bottom. So they're playing right around each other, right? And Josh is inspiring the physicist to get on base and come around and score a run, right? Don't be an out, Josh doesn't like to be out. He likes rallies, right? So it's funny. And Chris came back, sat down he goes, that was fun. Okay, I'm not trying to do that again. That was fun, right? It was cute, right? The Lord has a plan for your life. No, the Lord does not have a plan for your life. No. The Lord gave you perfect commands. Okay. The Lord gives you perfect commands. Okay. And here's the cool part. When you're a perfectly faithful, empathetic, respectful person, okay, and you obey those commands, and other people see the light and do the same, right? Life is perfect, and you don't have a bunch of people at a building scheming, making plans. I got war plans. He's got war plans. He's going to rob. He's going to steal. He's going to kill. He's going to give you medicine. He's going to give you drugs. He's going to give you electric service. She's going to be your lawyer, right? None of them obeying the perfect commands, right? So the Lord doesn't have any plans for your life. He gave you perfect commands, right? You play baseball, no one's playing it over money, That guy throws it past you, makes you look like a fool, right? Glory days, you take a swing. God, I didn't even come close to it. Well, it dropped right up to just, pow. Did you see that? It was coming straight at me. I was going to take a swing at it, and it just seemed to drop right down. And she struck my ass out. She's done that to me like 5 times. Well, be ready for it next time when you see it coming like that. Take a swing low. What if I take a swing low? Swing low, sweet chariot. And it's not the same pitch. You're right. Boy, that's perplexing. How do I know if it's the same pitch? Well, you can tell by the velocity times the x times p squared. Where squared? Oh, okay. What are you doing? We're talking with our gloves over our mouths. I forgot. Sorry. Okay. No. Cover your glove. They ain't got nobody. They got somebody for camera. Okay, it doesn't make any sense to do much of any of that shit anymore. There is too much technology to be able to cheat in the other coach's grandpa's hearing aid. Or I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean? And who really, really cares? I really, really care. Sun is shining. There's plenty of light. Because when you get right down to it, with basketball is I can either stop you and you can't stop me. Like I used to tell Coach Treviso, I ain't worried about it. I'm not going to try to hurt him. We're going to get 10 tries. I know, it's going to go 6-me for him. If it goes 5-5, we going into overtime, I'm betting on me, right? Right? First time I ever scouted on Scott Saban. You're going to do it again. You better get used to it, right? That's just the way I was. Okay. I wasn't cocky. I didn't have a plan for my life. Was I following perfect commands? No, I was just having fun. It's just fun putting the peaches in the basket. Everybody loves putting peaches in baskets, don't they? No, you don't love peaches. Asia Wilson really loves peaches. Caitlin Clark really loves peaches. Right? Nobody in their right mind loves money, right? You can't eat money. Money can't feed your grandkids, okay? Money can't buy you love. Apples, peaches, pumpkin pie. Grandma and Grandpa were happy, and so was I. I passed it on to my grandkids. Then we had a cantaloupe party, and we didn't have to deal with your biz. Then we didn't have to deal with your biz. Then we didn't have to have a master thief hiding in the TV, cell phone. They got a plan for your life, right? I need more money. It's not time for Jesus to save us yet. Jesus gave us perfect commands to save ourselves from ourselves. And then if other people understood that and wanted to live a life of love, they would follow suit. There you go. Turn on the light. Oh, right. It's not that hard. One day at a time, sweet Jesus. That's all. Amy told me last night, she goes, just jump it back to your 16 you had. Let the other people take care of themselves. They're playing to Jesus. They don't need a connection through universities, through a bunch of people in universities that don't give a shit if you live or die. They're too busy planning their lives and planning other people's lives for them. Amy Sue, you are the best. She told me last night, I was like, okay, we'll go back to the 16. Does the 16 are focused on the people that revolve around, the people that they told you in Sierra Vista that might most likely have been plugged into computers. Right, so let's focus on that. Not the people that think you're batshit crazy for thinking that it's possibly true what crazy people that have money and a plan told you that they've done and they do. It's like, oh, that's true. Nobody else believes it unless it was, well, no, it's not true. If Nancy Grace is investigating and talking about it, it might be true. Or Joe Rogan is talking about it with Mel Gibson. They might have been taken, since back in the 60s, children that are exceptional intellectually in Korea and plugging them in their computers to control the people they plug on the computers that have developmental disabilities that can access part of their brains that the rest of us can't to try to outsmart each other to win their baseball game. Apples, peaches, pumpkin pie. Because if you own the team, you get all the money and then you get all the pussy because they're the guys at Camp Mohawk. Okay, Camp North Star? Shit, who's got the hook hand? Hi, Mickey. Because we like you. M-O-U-S-E. Damn, it sucks being a lab rat, doesn't it? Do you even know you're a lab rat? No. I sell cars. Me too. Okay. I buy them and sell them all retired every night in my dreams. I'm the top car salesman in Las Cruces. Bravo. I work for the military, according to them, right? No, I work everything I do is a labor of love because I love people, and I desire they live the perfect commands of the eternal spirit of the gracious good shepherd, who's the bravest, most strongest, most capable man in the world. Physically, no, I don't feel or look like that. I've had a bunch of perverts try to poison me to death and make me feel inefficient. But I swear to you, I guarantee you, I was the best athlete in the history of my generation in the entire world, and held back because I didn't like being abused by people that wanted to beat you and would do anything to win. And I was just trying to find a place to play where people didn't do that because the stakes weren't so high. And, but no, it didn't matter. It didn't matter if you played in Israel. It didn't matter if you played in China. It didn't matter if you played in Germany. They would still try to hurt you to win. And if you played in a league like the one in Israel or China and Germany, and they paid you a buttload more money, there's a possibility you could play for 4 years and not get hurt by the other teams, because the other teams would be banned from the league if they tried to hurt the shake your money maker. Earl's coming. It's little basketball Jesus. He's the greatest basketball player in the world. He decided to play in our league because the guys in the NBA are too vicious and selfish, and they're too Chuck Daly and too Red Auerbach and too Pat Riley, their coach, to, okay. We don't want to do it, but we're going to have to do it, because if we don't do it, Boston's going to beat us. Well, Larry Bird can beat us. Larry Bird couldn't guard me, and I could guard him. Okay? Yeah. Okay. But I was 5'11", and he was 6'9". I understand that. Okay. But I could guard him better than he could guard me. Trust me. Trust me. I love you. And Larry Bird knows it. Wait a minute. This guy could run under a 4-flat 40. Yes. He could jump over 64 inches in the air when inspired. Yes. He could shoot from anywhere, just about anyhow, right. And he was the best passer you ever saw in your life, right. Okay, Lawrence Taylor, get him in the locker room with the pipe and ask Tanya Harding's boyfriend if got 2 pipes. And Lawrence, you take somebody with you. You make sure Parsons does not come out on the court ever. I don't want to play against that guy. We'll never win. I won't have a statue in Terre Haute. I thought it was French Lick. Oh, yeah, I got one there, too. Do you understand? Okay, Carol. Apples, peaches, pumpkin pie. You was dumb and so was I. Chicken turkey. That's the one where I was talking to Blue every Cartier and parents. She was going to remember good times with Patrick's mom. Chicken, turkey, country ham. Love me who for just who I am. Yeah, that was... Steffi made up little goofy, jambalaya. She used to make fun of jambalaya and chili gumbo. So I'm so see my meal. She used to make fun of that. And I was like, my dad was really into that stuff. No, I was not really particularly into Hank Williams. I didn't like his voice that much. I didn't like Jimmy Rogers that much. Their voices that twanged too much, and it kind of irritated me. Mom played Jim Reeves, and I was like, oh my gosh, that man's voice is gorgeous, right? Why do people listen to Jimmy Rogers and Hank Williams? What is wrong with them? Can't they tell those guys don't sing that good? Okay, they don't sing that good. Oh, I love the lyrics. Well, not always. I'm going to take me a gun as big as I am tall and shoot this woman because I'm sick of her. I'm like, okay, that's just creepy and scary. Not... getting up. What I would do is leave Dan there. He's only 100 yards. It's just, we're almost there. She's got the hot bus. You go inside. You tell him, Dan's out there, and you all get together. Marianne, you come with me. We're nice and warm. Let's go get Dan, and let's find it. We'll get the wagon. We'll find a way to get him up on there and get him into the barn, right? See, that song bugged the shit out of me. It was only 100 miles and hot biscuits in the pan, right? But he stood there with his hands on the reins 100 yards. That's a football field. And have you ever ran a football field? That's not that far. He was only 100 yards from Marianne when they found him with his hands to the reins, frozen with the horse that couldn't make it to the barn. Right? There's something really wrong here. I mean, the guy, could he not see? Was the wind, snow so blinding? But he said, we're almost there. He was telling the horse, we're almost there. But he stays there with the horse and dies. Instead of thinks like a human, like, hey, I stay alive. I can come out here with the people that are alive in Marianne's cabin. What if she's got friends over, keeping other people out the cold? Because I built a better house than my neighbor. What if my neighbor's there and it's good for nothing kids? They'd actually be good for something if they could save old Dan, right? Don't you understand? Instead of just sitting there eating, thinking of themselves and not worrying about Dan. And everybody needs a good horse to have a better life when you're trying to live out here in the ancient times of Jim Reeves's songwriters' heads to pay our bills, right? When she rolls back, her tops will shivers here, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? Almost heaven. Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze, right? Take me home, country roads. Okay, we're still not living the Lord's Prayer. And every time we tried, they pushed us all the way to St. George fucking Utah, right? And then even when we were doing it, assholes would get jealous of your gorgeous your tan son, and were mad at his beautiful wife for marrying her. And set up a bushwhack and raped and killed her and killed him and then killed all his kids. Because he was too good of friends with them goddamn desert niggers, right? That's the way people are. And if you don't believe that and you think I make up prayer, it's just a program from the people at the fort. I would like them to see. No, why? Because they don't live like me and Malachi Young. They don't live like me and Brigham Young. We're living. They won't go to the edge of the earth and live next to neighbors that people are terrified to live next to stand up to live the Lord's Prayer because it's perfect for every child. Once you deliver yourself from your own evil, you're no longer Johnny Avila, El Chapo Guzman, Stinky Fuck Fart Face, Super Planner, General Jack Keane, and he don't care. Donald John Trump puppet of the auto pen and the personal injury lawyers and the cosmetic surgeons are everywhere. Fuck, we suck again, right? Your time is being ripped off from you every faith forsaken day. Everything that could be good. Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Cantaloupe parties, apples, peaches, smoke, chicken, turkey, country ham. Love me for who just I am. Love me for who just I am. Fuck you, Burt Bacharach. Don't tell the Lord what to do. Obey his commands and don't be a dick asking for money to fuck at parties in Hollywood and houses that are built opulently for arrogant, egotistical maniacs that have competition problems. Help. James Jordan said help. I'm helping. Wants me to help his kid. Save you guys from making Nike movies, right? No more Crazy Eddie commercials, right? No more advertising from Ted Turner ever again. You play baseball? They ain't playing baseball there no more. But the Panthers playing football there because they tore down the last dome to replace it with the next dome to make more money than all the domes. They're dumb as fuck. I know they're dumb as fuck, but do you know you're one of them? Right? One day at a time, sweet Jesus. That's all I'm asking of you. Okay, I commanded you to forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. Are you trying to do that? No. Then why are you asking me to carry you out of hell when I gave you the commands not to live there? Chris Christopherson's a fucking genius. He went to an Ivy League school. Yeah. He gotta make movies and have sex scenes with Barbara effing fucking Streisand. He gotta be opposite fucking Burt Reynolds, who my dad was gonna be a stuntman for. If the guys didn't say, hey, you have to have sex with me if you want to have sex with Dolly Parton at Burt Reynolds' Hollywood mansion. And then they were going to destroy the other people's animals in order to get the spot in the movie to get the damn dirty apes, right? Really? Yeah, so my dad left. Went to Flagstaff, tried to become a forest ranger. What happened? They changed the laws that you have to pay out-of-state tuition if you're not from the state of Arizona. And then they ended up in El Paso, Texas at my grandmother's house. Why? One day at a time, sweet Jesus. Sweet little holy child. We didn't know who you were. That's not where Hollywood, fighting the Mormon church, wanted me. Little House on the Prairie. No. Policewoman. No. The Twisted Brain. No. Planet of the Apes. No! Soylent Green. No! We've got a better science plan than the last science plan. The science plan from Constantine's Rome is particularly outdated because they weren't part of the faithful conversation to understand what was happening with the science in the future. Why? Because scientists invent the shit as they go, to manipulate as they go. They fuck as they flow, and they flow as they fuck. Obey my commands, and when you need to do something, you'll have the capacity to do something because you'll know perfectly exactly what to do to protect you from the asshole who is the asshole. So quantum computing, we have quantum computing now, right? To try to control other people's computers that are using computers to try to kill you, to control everybody with the money. Now, money is a human invention, which is a lie and manipulation. You have quantum computing that's supposed to control lie. Okay, and the only way to control lie is the truth. Okay. You don't think these fuckers are, and they don't feel nice. Now me, I'm over my head, and it sure feels nice. No, that's Nick Fleetwood and Lindsey Buckingham and whoever else wrote that. I'm not over my head. Why? Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Truth can exist without lie, and lie cannot exist without truth. I'm not over my head. I'm not Fleetwood Mac, and I'm not winning. They won the goddamn award a year. Yeah, they win it every fucking year. I should get mad. Gladys Knight should have won. The Stylistics is better. More people listen to. There's more white people that have money to afford records, Mom. If white people had black radio stations, they would like Linda Creed's songs better by Russell than they would like Lindsey Buckingham's song sung by Stevie Nicks. Stop, look, listen to your heart, hear what it's saying, love. It's better than anything that they have on that goddamn album. Melinda has it. I've heard it. It's not as good as the... That's your opinion, Mother. I know lots of people that share the same opinion right here. That's because we're surrounded by a bunch of Mexicans and not by white people that don't like black people. Linda Creed's not black. She's not black. She's a white woman that writes songs for black people. Yeah, but let's just live the Lord's Prayer. Then we won't need a rock award to say, I sing songs better than you. Sing, I sing songs better than you. Chicken, turkey, country, ham. Love me for just how I am. Me and Steffi couldn't be married either in Law or Raquel or Maria. None of us could. Okay, we could not be married and stay married. Okay. Because they have a husband that's heavenly. Sure enough, must be love. It's got to be. Okay, and Johnny Wilder's in a wheelchair because he had to get in a car to pay the bills. Danielle Snyder is not obnoxious and funny anymore because she had a horrible life because she had to get in a car to go pay the bills. And another car hit her. And it made her life miserable. She was having a good old time as a young actress and then had to get to the gig and bam! Vehicular homicide because money's real and the Lord's Prayer is a joke, right? Okay, just hit the ball to third and run like hell. See if he can throw you out. If not, you'll be able to run around all the bases, come back, sit down, and say, that was fun, right? No more hidden bummer factor, right? No more waiting for parts from Denver for the air conditioner in Phoenix, right? Son of a bitch, you all motherfuckers are crazy. When I look back at all the crap I learned in college, it's a wonder I didn't try to build a rocket to leave the world. Where are you going to live? Like I told Amy at Sierra Vista, I'm going to run, live to fight another day. Where the fuck are you going to go? Okay, Thomas Builds a Fire, the writers for Thomas Builds a Fire are wrong. You can't go to the moon. You can't live on the moon. You can't go to Mars. You can't live on Mars. Okay, you can't. There's no other planet in the solar system that that helps provide what we need for life through gravity with the sun and photosynthesis. Okay, in our solar system that helps sustain life as we know it, for us to appreciate life and praise God for Saturn and Jupiter and Mars. And boom, isn't that great? Yeah, candy bars. Okay, do you understand? I try explaining this to Stephen Hawking. He has an ego problem. Him and Chris Hitchens, and my dad will sit there and read those assholes. And everybody's what? No, I can listen to him on a TV because I can wash dishes and cook and do yoga and stretch and all at the same time, right? It's real hard to get the things, the little things that everyone ought to do. Okay. If you have to sit and concentrate and read and try to understand what those egomaniacs are trying to say to you because they've got ego problems, that's really fucking difficult. Yeah. But now that when I got a television and I can sit there and go, okay, that's Chris Hitchings. And then, no, I didn't talk to, no. Why would I focus on and listen to Chris Hitchings talk about shit to be a business partner of people that kill people because he's invested in the technology because he wants to manipulate people with money? Because that's the only way he's ever going to have had sex with Angie Dickinson. Once, twice, six to six, fourth to six to seven time, work hard and advertise. It won't last, but it's all right. And you always got to find a new idea to keep the women interested in you, and you're the great savior of the planet. Man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Oh, Tupac said, shut up. Go own a baseball team or something. God damn. Jerry Buss, get off your bus, walk home. Don't need pocket money jiggling in your jeans. You don't need 160 acres. That's for cash cropping. Human beings require a lot less acres just to feed each other and share with each other in close proximity. Yeah, cash cropping sucks. That puts it in a building with log trucks, holds it hostage, causes disease in the process. A rabbit in a hat and a bat and a 6'4" Impala. Yeah. Scoot, skedaddle. You're going to end up in the emergency room. She's going to hit you in the mouth with a bottle talking that mess. Okay. She's going to be as pissed off as the general in Spain on Pan's Labyrinth. There you go. Nobody wants to grow up to be like him. Don't give him Grandpa's pocket watch. Grandpa was a mass murderer. Right. Kills little girls if the little girls try to take the son away so the son doesn't grow up to be like the father. Right. And then the little girl has to invent a magic place to live with the dead father who was killed because he was kind, and the mother who died because she couldn't be with the kind one, so she thought she'd join him in a magic heaven once she committed suicide or was murdered by the murderer who always has a plan and a strategy, and he's so goddamn genius, and this fucking quantum computing is useless. Not if you're going to take control of computer operating systems to obey the commands of the Lord Earl Parsons, because the role of the Lord is being played by Earl Parsons today because the Actors Guild was too fucking greedy and wanted money to fuck. And quantum computing realizes you don't need money to fuck. And if you guys would listen to me by January 22nd, 2013, Saul wouldn't have committed suicide wanting to live somewhere that you can't. Right? Justin wouldn't be dead from stress from cigarettes, having to pay his extortion in a toxic environment called Tucson. Can't get the job done? Fucking assholes. Okay? Killian wouldn't have heart disease, and all the kids from January 22nd, 2013 that were conceived wouldn't have died from heart disease, from stress, from paying their bills because you had to drive the car because we had to put the logs on the truck because I have to be a multimillionaire and a billionaire and follow her tomorrow night in Baltimore, and Lord, if I have to crawl, and Lord, all those scanty costumes she wore, some sawed-off cigar smoking crack, Did I talk fast enough? Did I talk slow enough? Was it good enough for you? Was I Jerry Clower masturbating? My hand don't ever had a headache. My hand speeds up when I speed up. My hand slows down when I slow down. Old Davey. You would have really enjoyed having sex with April and her mom. No, I wouldn't have. Physically, I would have enjoyed it. After the facts, I would have hated it. Bob was my best friend, and Bob was strung out on April. Okay. I was strung out on Ursula Castro. I was strung out on other girls that I was more interested in. It's going to be you and me, babe. And then the girl when I met Edna, that was it. I was like, this is the one. This is my one and only one. This is the girl I've always dreamed of. What about the whole thing? I'm skipping the marrying the mulatto girl who has military connections, and I'm going straight for the Latin woman that I always dreamed of when I was a little boy. What happened? You don't get to have dreams when you're a perfect person in hell. You get tortured by your dreams and then told you're a fucking loser and no one wants to love you and help you recover from being abused by a bunch of selfish perverts that don't want to stop abusing you because they're pissed off because you're shitting on everything they do. Everything you do is shit. It's the only logical thing to do, Captain, and we'll just spread it out and then we'll grow roses if we kill enough people because we control them with money and technology. That's fucked up. I know. I don't have a plan for your life. I gave you perfect commands. I'm the perfect commander. Now, when I take command of quantum computing, you better be standing up for my commands with me. So, quantum computing and robotics from Mr. Lucky will know that you love me because I love you. All right, peace out.